people have passed away in past ones in Wales before. I think this time so far we're doing okay, and I hope that it stays that way. Fingers crossed. But yeah, no, there's a legit risk. 2 seconds. There's a knot in my fabric, and I just need to quickly zoom knock that out. Oh, actually, I don't know if I can knock this one out. That's a bad knot to get. Luckily, it's kind of there, so what I can do is, because that's not going to come undone, I can grab that somewhere else and just pull it taut, so it's not too much of an issue. I can manage that one. Stand up and stretch. I've not really been doing this for very long, Nightbot. I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of chatted for like nearly an hour. Oh dear, we do have a big river in town. Yeah. There's so I used to live very close to a very, very big river in Wales, of which I will not tell you which one, but the year that it broke, it was something. I still went to work that day. So my whole street had flooded. Luckily I was a couple floors up, so I was in a flat, so my house didn't flood, but the ones on the bottom floor did. So the whole street was underwater, right? I still had to go to work that day, knowing that I would wade into work. It was like a 40-minute walk, and I also then had to cross the river that had broken. And when I crossed, they were still allowing people. So it had broken, but we were allowed to walk across. I wasn't able to get back because they then closed it because there was like massive debris going underneath it, and it was just not safe. Oh my god. That was a heckin' something. Oh dear. Wow. There you go. Tell my friend who woke up in ankle deep water and getting worse in the house. Yeah, it is. It's very terrifying. I hope your friend is okay. I hope they are doing all right. I guess this only works in Essex. Tail is pronounced as tell. Tail. Ah, yeah. Okay, I see. Sorry, I had the wrong accent. My bad. Speaking of things that annoy me that pertain to minimum wage workers, it annoys me that there are so many fast food chains that their minimum wage workers are clearly not being paid enough to care, since no matter what stuff I'm go in, I request from mayo goes unanswered. And honestly, understandable, because I feel like when places use mayonnaise, it's a lot of mayonnaise, so unless you really like mayonnaise, it's a hecking lot. Also, if you're like allergic to eggs or something, that could be really bad. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh. I would hope that on a day like this no one would have to go in, but I think that's not realistically probably what's happening today. Oh dear. Well, I think it's especially bad because there are these weather warnings. Like, even in an amber alert, you're not really meant to go out unless it's like necessary. Like, you have to be very careful. So like the fact that we've been in red alert and there are still people working, it's like, oh my god. Yeah, it's one of those things where like it's not gonna be solved anytime soon. I know that. But it does bother me a bit. I do feel like it feels like these people are being viewed as disposable, if that makes sense. Yeah. Because if you're telling a worker they have to get into work in a red alert where it's like, this is danger to life, do not leave the house, then you don't value that worker's life. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I've definitely been on the receiving end of that a few times, and it sucks. It feels sucky, and it's also legitimately dangerous. You have a funny mayo story? I would like your mayonnaise story, please. The vlog I mentioned was 10 years ago, and he's in a much... I'm glad. I have a D&D group. I get to play as a player. We have a jar of alchemy, and we use it for producing liters of mayonnaise. We had to burn the cask when you want to do with mayo, so I looked at the point with mayonnaise burns, and I find this video. The comments are, thanks, my D&D party now knows how mayo burns, like hundreds of them. Oh my god, it's the mayonnaise people. Wait, do amber alerts not mean the same thing here as they do in the US? Amber alerts, we have a yellow alert, amber alert, and red alert. Red alert is danger to life, which is like, don't go outside. It is dangerous out there. Amber alerts are normally like, they can cover a lot of the UK, but it's like, be careful because it could be quite bad. And normally if there's an amber alert, public transport may stop and you can't get around. It might not be danger to life, but it is like Yeah, maybe not danger to life quite yet, but be careful because it could be quite risky. Like when you have an amber alert for wind, it might knock out power, transport, stuff like that. And yeah, red alert is just straight up danger to life. Like, be careful, you could die if you go outside, kind of thing. So that's our alert system. Yellow alert we get a lot here. Oh yeah, they are for weather. These are all for weather alerts. Sorry, thanks Shifty. Should say these are all weather alerts. Yellow we get quite often, which is like could be local kind of issues with wind, rain. Might lock out local buses, but maybe not. You should be able to go out in a yellow alert, it just sucks. Nobody wants to go out of the house when it's a yellow alert, but you can. Yeah, no. And then, yeah, red alert. Red alert is the big bad. Yeah, this is all weather here. Although there are... Okay, I don't know. I have to be a little careful with talking about subjects like this because I don't know how shop-specific they are. But I know in shops they have different alerts and stuff like that, and a lot of them are code for things like a missing child. Oh dear. Yeah, sorry, I assume it's much better. I've never saw the flooded house, but this current one's amazing. Oh yeah, that sounds like it's much better. I'm way too tired, so I'm gonna have to head out. No, you're fine! Get some heckin' good Z's, Prism. Look after yourself. Thank you so much for popping by. But yeah, no, look after yourself. Get your Z's on. Very important. Yeah, ours are all for weather. Weather alerts. Oh dear. Yeah, you don't see red alerts that often though. Thankfully. It's normally only in situations like this where a lot of rivers are breaking, because then, yeah, there's very, very quick, sudden flooding, which is not good. There we go. We have watches and warnings for weathers. That might explain it. Yeah. So we call ours, those are warnings, but I guess. But then, yeah, I guess... watch the thing. It might happen. The warning. The thing. It is happening. I mean, it's kind of the same here in many ways, right? Where it's like, yellow alert could become an amber alert. Red alert might switch back to a yellow alert because you just don't know when it comes to weather, right? It could be really, really bad. It could be not so bad. Like sometimes they'll expect it to be worse than it is, which is normally a good situation if you thought it'd be worse and it's not that bad. That's okay. I'm alright with that. But then, yeah, like yesterday, I wasn't lying when I said I hadn't had a single weather warning. I hadn't. When I was on stream yesterday, I hadn't had a single warning that the weather was going to be that level of bad. And we went from where I lived, no warning, to a red alert, and now back to an amber alert. So it was like, it was very, very quick changes. And I mean, again, on stream, I could tell that it was getting pretty windy and it was raining pretty hard, but like, yeah, I didn't have any alert until pretty late at night. And then, yeah, this morning it changed back to amber. Because even though it's still raining, I don't think we're expecting further flooding or in like new areas or anything like that. So there is still flooding, but it's not so bad. Hopefully, at this point, we've got through the most of it. Oh dear. There we go. Bonk. That being said, there was also some common sense there, I guess, because like I could hear the wind. It was very, 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 very windy yesterday. Like, I could hear it. So going, yes, it would not have been a good idea for me to go out in it, but I could also probably have told you that it's not a good idea to go out when it's that windy. Like, we have our bins inside. We've done all the normal stuff. Did I just like you're probably I am because I've already done Vivi and Garnet, and I want to do the whole set. But yes, I'm just kind of going by with whichever character kind of inspires me in that moment. So there's not a specific set order for them. Just whichever one I'm like, I have a good idea for this character now. I'll do that one now. That kind of vibe. It's whenever I feel inspired to do one, I shall do one. Yes. Including Transdane and Kuja. We're gonna do maybe Kuja, but not Transdane. Kuja and Beatrix, I was thinking. Yeah. Because I'm not so interested in doing Transdane, and I kind of don't want to do Trans Kuja either. I kind of want to do Standard Kuja. If I was to do the Trances, I'd do them as a separate thing. Yeah, I think I want Standard Kuja and Standard Beatrix. Yep. And then any trances, because don't get me wrong, you're right in that trances would look really good in embroidery because of like the vibes for it, but I would probably do them a little less cartoonish and a little bit more realism, like with feathers and stuff like that, because all of that is very, like, I could do that in realism because it's feathers. So yeah, it probably wouldn't suit the rest of them so much, but I wouldn't be against doing it as a separate piece. Yeah. Just so that the vibes can be a little different. The trance versions for Pride Month. Damn you and your good goddamn ideas. Dang you. Oh, no. How dare you have such good ideas. Alright, I'll save that one for later. Dear. I was thinking of getting a leather rock because rock. Because the iron is shit. I see. Yeah, if to be fair, you'd hope they'd give you good warnings because you're the first one who gets hit with it most of the time. Oh my god. Yeah, get a heckin' rock. If that is giving you quicker information, genuinely, I a lot of the time, and I think this is like becoming more of a worldwide thing, I hear that there's going to be flooding on Twitter before I hear that there's flooding in real life or like on the news. Like Twitter people will tell me first. Now, I don't always trust everything that I hear on Twitter, to be honest, but it is kind of weird that I can find out there might be flooding in Wales on Twitter before I can find out on like, you know, what do you call it? Wales Online. Obviously, Wales Online gives more details and more important information, but still. There you go. I don't know how embroidery works, but from what